Gigantic hot dogs have been traversing America's highways for decades. Of course, I am talking about none other than the Wienermobile. The first one debuted back in 1936. And talk about branding. The Chicago-based Oscar Mayer figured what a way to get our brand out than by getting a Wienermobile and traversing the lower 48. If you get one of the coveted jobs of driving said Wienermobile, you are called a Hotdogger. There are so few of them in the land, and we are so fortunate because this morning we are joined by Molly Swindall. She is one of the newest drivers of the Wienermobile. Thank you for joining us this morning. So good to see you.
Thanks for having me. I guess I need to toast my buns
Molly,
a little more. I'm looking pale.
Oh my gosh, you're on brand. I already fell in love with you. So for folks who don't know, I just want to go through your CV for a little bit. You have a master's degree in security and intelligence brought to you by the European Union. You could have written code, you could have battled cybersecurity, you could have been a special agent. But no, you decided you wanted to be a hot dogger. Lady, you have some explaining to do.
Yes. I mean, this is a once-in-a-lifetime job. You can only do it for 1 year, and I just weighed the fact that you get to bring joy and happiness to people every day. I have people crying that I'm bringing back their childhood and that we're the best thing that's happened to them in 2020, and it's unbelievably special, so I would not change that for the world.
I love this joy. It's a 27-foot Frankfurter, for those of you keeping score at home. And I understand it's really a coveted job. There were only 12 of you, and they cut it back to 6, I believe, because of the pandemic. The way you captured the attention of the suits at Oscar Mayer was pretty unique. Tell us about what you presented them with so that you would stand out from the crowd.
Yes, well, there are still 12 Hotdoggers. There's just 6 Wienermobile vehicles. But I ended up mailing in an application. I knew that I really had to stand out to cut the mustard because it is such a competitive job. And the box was a picnic basket with all the ingredients for a perfect hot dogger. And I had myself as a hot dog. My resume was in a relish bottle. My cover letter was cheesy and in craft singles. I had facts about me, and so you could catch up with me in a catch-up bottle. And then I had a video screen that played my application video if you lifted up the wiener whistle.
First of all, we will get into the wiener whistle later. 2 questions. Do you even like bologna? And how do you parallel park a 27-foot Frankfurter?
I thought you were going to ask me if I like hot dogs, which I love them. I once had one at 8:30 in the morning. But parallel parking it, there are 2 of us that drive it together. I drive with Saucy Spence. We all have hot dogger names. Mine's Mayo Chup Molly. And that's a combination of mayo and ketchup. And one of us is outside the vehicle directing the other, which makes it easier for us to parallel park it, especially because a lot of people are out there taking pictures and wanting to see it when we're trying to park.
So where have you been so far? I know you mentioned that some people cry when they see you out of sheer joy because but you say that you're bringing back their childhood memories. Where have you been, and what has the experience been like?
We started in South Dakota, and we actually had a woman drive 12 hours specifically to see us. And she was one of the ones who said that we were the best thing that's happened to her, and she had been married. That was in a direct quote. That was really, really interesting and special to hear because we knew how impactful our job was the first week on the job. And then we've been to Kansas. I'm right now in Phoenix, Arizona. We spent 5 weeks in Arizona. I've been to Texas, Oklahoma City, and then we were also in Wisconsin.
My goodness, you may not know this, and we mentioned this earlier in the broadcast, but we actually had the Wienermobile in Pix Plaza on the corner of 42nd and 2nd, which is right outside our studios. Any chance you can drive that thing to the corner so I can meet you in the flesh?
Not right now because I am in Phoenix and I'd really have to haul buns to get there. But hopefully we can bring it to y'all soon.
Molly Swindall, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Congratulations on being a hot dogger. I do hope once this year is over, you become a special agent. I mean, even with that outfit on.
Frank's a bun for having me.
Thanks a bun. You guys, I mean, hello.
Right? She's top dog. My goodness. I just want to know what's really in a hot dog. Can we just get to the bottom of that? What's really in a hot dog?
Protein.
You don't want to know.
I know,
Vitamin
right?
C, D, and E.
You don't want to know what's in a hot dog.
I want to see that thing on the next Fast and the Furious movie. I want to see them like really like drift in it. I want to see how fast it goes 0 to 60, how long it takes.
I just like her personality.
Yeah. Thanks a buns.